What is up, you guys? Glitchiz here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a really exciting video for you guys, and that is all the details dropping with update 1.4.4. This is probably one of the biggest updates that we've gotten yet, and there is a ton of quality of life changes that are coming, as well as some really cool events and a ton of extra rewards that we're going to be able to get for free, and then several others that we can get very easily just by playing. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it because we got a lot to go over. So new content coming with this update. The main big one is going to be cross-character sharing. The highly anticipated cross-character sharing feature is finally here. Due to the feature's complexity, we will implement it in phases to ensure stability, with full implementation expected by March 28th, so it might take a couple extra days. They did say that the update itself, I'm not sure if it's actually even done yet. It was going to be at least 4 hours as of 3 p.m. to get this thing up and running. But all systems and assets affected by cross-character sharing will be labeled as such in their respective descriptions. To activate sharing for certain assets, players must log in with all existing characters, and characters who have not activated cross-character sharing will be labeled as such in the server selection list. For more information, refer to the cross-character sharing section. They have a whole separate post for that, but we won't go into too much detail here. Kind of goes over what things are going to be transferred and things like that. Due to the physical distance between servers for different regions, cross-character sharing is limited to characters within the same account and region. Characters in different regions cannot share assets, so keep that in mind. If you're on one coast and you're playing with a friend on the other side of the ocean, just know that some of those things won't be combined. They will have to stay separate. But moving on, content shareable after March 26th. Content includes mods, fashion items, stickers, and actions, so our emotes, excluding stickers obtained from the meta pass, because that's a monthly paid thing. Hairstyles and makeup, furniture cosmetics, name card related cosmetics, weapon skins, and recipes acquired during scenario exploration. All of that will be carried and shared across all characters. After your character's mods are consolidated, the total number of mods might exceed your mod's backpack capacity. Excess mods rather, will be disassembled, prioritizing those with lower level attributes. All mod parts from the disassembled mods will be refunded, and for more information, refer to the, again, cross-character sharing. If you guys want to look into full details of like the chart, I'll make sure to leave a link to this patch notes post down in the description, as well as a link to pre-registration for the mobile launch. Quick reminder there, April 23rd, mobile is going to be dropping for Once Human, so be sure to check out those links and make sure you get those free rewards. But moving on, the method is going to involve logging in with each character to consolidate your assets, enabling them to be shared across all characters. Your Eternal Land account depot, on Eternal Land, you can access the account depot from any stored item. Items from your space-time backpack can be deposited into your account depot, enabling other characters to withdraw them into their own space-time backpacks. You must then spend resource points to transfer these items into scenarios. Ideally, I'd like a little bit more resource points, but the fact that we have a kind of global chest, in this case the account depot, to deposit any and all items that we get from multiple characters and put them into one shared space, will allow you to potentially bring things in from different scenarios if you're playing different ones at the same time on a separate account, into any given character that you want at any time, as long as you have the points, so that's pretty cool. You can transfer items from your scenario backpack to the account depot at any time, and once transferred, they will be converted into the space-time backpack items. This action is irreversible, and the system will provide a double confirmation prompt. Please proceed with caution. This is kind of important, and a perfect example would be a fellow community member here recently was trying to do the free repair setup with an Eternal Land, which required the all-purpose hand deviation, but they hadn't gotten one yet, and they did get one on their current server, but unfortunately, as of right now, before the patch, you had to wait until your scenario completely ended for things to get transferred to your Eternal Land storage. Now you'll be able to transfer things to and from that basically account depot anytime that you want, so that's really cool, so you can get used to those right away. Items that cannot be deposited into the Spacetime Backpack are also ineligible for sharing through the account depot. This limitation will be addressed in a future update. So some random things might not be able to make it right away, but they're going to be adding more and more to that available list as the time goes on. Moving on, content expected to be shareable as of March 28th. Here we go. Content, Stellar, and this is for the stuff that's coming a few days later. So the Stellar Stairway Progress, Wish Machines, Blueprint Collection, Blueprints themselves, Blueprint Fragments, Starchrome, Phantom Cubes, and the method for doing this, log in with any character once again to enable sharing. Your account will adopt the data of the character with the highest blueprint calibration level or collection level, and once completed, you will receive rewards including Starchrome and Phantom Cubes via in-game mail. All keyword effects will be reset, and an equivalent amount of Phantom Cubes will be refunded, allowing you to redeem new keyword effects of your choice. They didn't have a preview of those basically ammunition type animations that you could unlock with the Phantom Cubes, and people were kind of annoyed. So once they do this reset, they're going to be refunding us all our Phantom Cubes back, and you can pick and choose the proper ones and re-roll them basically for free another time, which is pretty handy. From March 26th to March 31st, Wish Stones will be unavailable at the challenge shop. After synchronizing Wish Machine data for sharing, all existing Wish Stones will be lost. Lost Wish Stones will then be reimbursed via in-game mail within 24 hours. Starting March 31st at 3 p.m., Wish Stones will be available at the challenge shop once again, and with a purchase limit of 1 Wish Stone per account per month. So you won't be able to get multiple of them per month at a time. After the March 26th update, the returnee event will be limited to 1 character per account, and its Starchrome rewards will be temporarily suspended. If you log in after March 26th, any unclaimed Starchrome will be sent to you via in-game mail, and within 15 business days, and an updated returnee event featuring refresh rewards will launch with version 1.5.1, so stay tuned. Next big thing, we got all the sharing character account information. Now we're moving on to furniture dies. After March 26 update, you can dye furniture using the furniture dye interface at the designer's workstation. So they're finally giving some new features to that table that almost no one uses in their territory. Stardust dye and advanced dye material can be redeemed with Mitsuka marks at the redemption shop and is refreshed monthly. Each furniture item has up to 3 dyeable areas, allowing you to customize each area as you wish, and the material cost will vary depending on the chosen dye options. Once dyed, the furniture will be sent to the backpack, allowing you to place it in your territory. To unlock the designer's workstation, go to your Memetics, Building tab, and then the designer workstations under Building. When the furniture dye feature launches, all players will have 11 basic dyes and 1 advanced dye, the Gilded Marble, which looks really sick. It's like a gold and white marble color, will be unlocked by default. And then I'm assuming in the shop, you'll be able to purchase additional ones later on. This update introduces 17 dyeable furniture items, including the entire American series of furniture. We plan to further expand the selection of dyeable furniture and introduce additional dye types over time. Starting in May, dyeing support for furniture at the shop will be rolled out in phases, so stay tuned. So again, more things are going to be added and more furniture options will come with time. So keep an eye out for that. Moving on, puzzle-themed building components. This I can see could be really fun for the people who like to toy around in Eternal Land. This update introduces new puzzle-themed building components. This includes the passcode lock, the clue log, and a reward crate. Unleash your creativity in Eternal Land and turn your Eternal Land into a playground. These components can be purchased from Weber in the NPC merchant in Deadsville, which is the very first town that you enter on the Manibus servers, for example. So really cool kind of like escape room mechanics that you could potentially set up. I could see people doing. That'd be kind of neat. Moving on to anti-type effects. This is going to be big. To enrich the gameplay experience, players can now use Stardust ingots, a new craftable ingot, to craft bullets and tactical items with anti-deviant effects, or control units to craft bullets and tactical items with anti-humanoid effects. Stardust ingots can be unlocked in the Memetics and crafted with Stardust ore. So we're no longer just using Stardust ore to create acid and Stardust source. Now you can actually turn it into its own customizable ingot. It's going to be a brand new crafting material, and we can build some really cool ammunition types with it. including 2 new ammunition types called the Suppression AP Ammo, which is effective against deviants, and the Penetration AP Ammo, which will be effective against humanoids. All offensive tactical items can now be crafted with anti-type effects as well. So Molotov cocktails, grenades, things like that. There's going to be probably that same little checkbox that you would see if you were crafting like a piece of armor. There's going to be a new selectable option now where you can throw in one of those key 2 new pieces, or 2 new items rather, and that will adjust the effect of that particular tactical item or ammunition. So pretty cool new feature that they're adding there. Moving on to new tactical items. The following PvE exclusive tactical items have been added: the Shield Matrix, Mr. Wish Rocket Launcher, and Wildfire Flamethrower. If we go over here, we can check that out real quick. This was in the previous pollution update, but if we scroll down real quick, here is the Shield Matrix. This is a tactical item you can throw down, basically creates an area of effect, or not area of effect, but a dome around you that prevents all incoming damage. That's at least projectile based, and still lets you fire out of it. Enemies can walk through it, but they can't shoot through it. So pretty cool, and I can see how this could be really handy in some of the higher difficulty tiers that they're going to be adding to dungeons, which we'll get over here and go over here in a minute. Then we have Mr. Wish's rocket launcher. This is cool because it's the first weapon where you can actually control the basically direction of the missile after you fire it. So there's a little preview there. And then last but not least, we have the Wildfire Flamethrower. Really good at AoE damage and taking down generic big, tightly packed mobs of enemies very quickly. And then going on top of that, there's also going to be upgrades to biomass missiles, plasma rounds, and a bunch of extra ammunition types for the grenade launcher, generic rocket launcher, and things like that. That'll make killing the silver shields for Prime War bosses more easily as well, and give you a bunch more tactical options. So really cool features there that are going to be added. But moving on, we are getting a brand new mimetic specialization item, and this will go over the rockets. So the red plasma rocket warhead, the red plasma grenade, and the red plasma rounds for those 3 main tactical weapons that you can craft. Those are going to be basically mimetic specializations that you can unlock, similar to the plasma rounds and the additional carry weight ones that we already have. Those 3 are going to get added to that random roll list that you can potentially get. So keep an eye out for those. But moving on, we have a new public crisis event called the Paradox Space. Paradox spaces are emerging across Nowcott. In these domains, the laws of space and time have unraveled, and mass, direction, and distance have all lost meaning. I'm wondering if like your controls might get reversed. It's saying mass isn't an option, so maybe you have like low gravity. I'm assuming there could be some really cool effects that happen to you during this event, so I'm curious to try it out. To mend our fractured world, you must defeat the paradoxical beings, gather the crystals causing the space-time anomalies, and banish the chaotic projections lurking within their depths. The new public crisis event, Paradox Space, is now available in the Manibus and Evolution's Call scenarios. So not quite in the Way of Winter Northern area yet, but all of the PvP, well, not all of, but Evolution's Call and Manibus down in the lower half, that will start showing up all over the map, which is pretty cool. Next, some big rewards coming is a new event called the Chrono Vault. We remember every moment spent and every battle fought across Nowcott. They've been keeping track of all of our progress. The limited time Chrono Vault event celebrates your past adventures and exploration with exciting rewards. The event period is going to be from March 26th, so basically today, after the update, through April 21st. And the exclusive Chrono Badge rewards will automatically be distributed to players based on the combat duration, achievement progress, and social contributions of all characters on your account. You will earn additional Chrono Badges by completing daily activity tasks and dungeon challenges. And here is a demo of some of the rewards. The following cosmetics can be redeemed with the Chrono Badges during the event. You get the Wasteland Sheriff set. This is my jurisdiction, and I call the shots. Oh, that's just a little quote for the armor set. The Coupe paint. So we get a new paint job for the Coupe vehicle skin. We get the Gem Symphony MG4 weapon skin and the Shimmering Shell Cradle skin. I'm not sure why they called it the Shimmering Shell, but then it says take the shells here. But just so you guys can see it more up close, I went and blew it up for you. So here is a closer look at it. So sort of like a generic style, a blue and tan themed cradle. We get the orange paint job for the car though, as well as the solid wood mobile coffee table formula. Bunch of Starchrome crates, bunch of Emissary crates, more Chrono medals, and then here is the Wasteland Sheriff armor set and the Gem Symphony. This is basically the same one that we got from the Battle Pass for the Desert Eagles, basically, the Wildfire pistols. I still use this gold skin on my Wildfire, but now we basically have a gold equivalent for an MG4, so that's a pretty cool skin. It's going to be like an all gold machine gun. So I'm sure that'll be really cool. And these tiers will be based off how many achievements you've gotten in the past and how many daily tasks you can complete during the event. So moving on, if we scroll down here, check the game for more cosmetic rewards. Note, the initial Chrono Badge allocation is based on the past scenario settlement data of all your characters. Scenarios that are ongoing or where your character did not reach level 20 by the time of the settlement will not be included. Due to the volume of data involved, minor miscalculations may occur. Thank you for your understanding. Moving on, Crimson Moon. So those of you that have been doing the Crimson Moon event, we're towards the tail end of it, and pretty much all of the dyeable furniture rewards are now going to be unlocked for that event as well. Crimson Moon event introduces a range of unique dyeable furniture formulas, and once you've acquired a formula, you can recolor it using the same Stardust dye that we talked about earlier, which can be redeemed with rubies at the redemption shop. The exchange shop has replaced basic dye crates and advanced dye crates with the Stardust dye consumable item now, allowing you to redeem any amount as needed. Moving on to updates to the Wish Machine prize pools. After the update on the 26th, the following new Wish Machine prize pools will be available for 3 weeks. We have Bullseye Hunter, which includes the legendary blueprint for Bullseye. Jaws Bomb, which includes the legendary blueprint for Little Jaws. Old Huntsman for the Old Huntsman boots. Savior Helmet, Savior Pants, and Savior Mask. And then after the update on the 9th, the following new Wish Machine prize pools will be available for 3 weeks after that. We have Huntsman Gunner, which will include the Predator LMG, Fast Gunner LMG, the Money Rain, which will include the Raining Cash Shotgun, and the Oasis Gunner, which will include legendary gear blueprints for the Oasis Mask, Bastille Helmet, Bastille Gloves, and Bastille Boots. So really good, several of these, the Predator, Oasis Mask, the Bastille, at least one piece of the Bastilles are used in quite a bit of different builds. So these will be all really decent ones to use your Starchrome on for sure. I've pretty much gotten everything in the shop, so I tend to wait until good ones like these pop up for me to start getting duplicates. But moving on, we also will have new shop arrivals, and these are really cool. We get the Night Bloom Sect set. The Nine-Tailed Fox spreads its ink, bringing a fiery calamity upon all creation. The limited time Lightforge loot crate will include the Hellfire Howl vehicle skin, which is going to be a legendary skin for the car, and I'll show a video off for it here in a minute. But it will also include the Nightbloom Raid fashion set, the Vulpine Shadow weapon skin for the AWS Sniper, the Securement Unit Shattered Enigma facility skin, and the Pyro Hammer Heavy Weapon Lightforge Collection weapon skin. You also get the Duel of Fate Duo Action emote, and that is going to be considered epic rarity. So about 5 potential options, I'm assuming, for the rounded out perks for this particular loot crate. But for those of you that haven't seen the really cool new car skin, here is a video that they teased on the Twitter page. So let's go ahead and watch this now. Really cool, similar to the Pyro Glide. It's all on fire and skulls and stuff. Nice. So that is the new car. Got everything locked and loaded in my tabs here. Moving on, we have new meta bounty, our new meta's bounty. I left behind a little legend in this world. It's going to be right here, Road Legend. So it looks like they're adding a new one for driving. And in the topic of driving, we've got some really cool updates that I'm about to go over for vehicles that I'm really excited about. But before we close out the updates to the shop, we have a cool new shop arrival called the the Artistic Doors and Windows Collection Pack. So here's a sample of what all those will look like. Specific, basically patterns for just your doors and windows. So really nice updates there. And then for things that are arriving in after April 10th, we have the Electronic Sheep will mistake our outlines for ghosts. Oh, it's called the Radiant Abyss character set, and the Aurora Hacker theme pack are coming. So really neat, more electronic DJ style, punky, cyberpunk style skins. A lot of people like these type of skins. I'm not a huge fan, but hey, options are options. And that cradle skin looks like a DJ turntables, so that's actually kind of cool. With maybe an RGB strip. A lot of people like the RGB LEDs on the backpacks. That's probably the main favorite one for most people that I know of. But moving on, some big optimizations that I was not even aware, and I'm a partner, that this was going to be a change that's coming, and that is the depreciation of controllers. And this is huge. A lot of people have been asking for this for a long time, and I'm excited to see that they're finally implementing it. After the update, the controller item, which for those of you that don't know, is that little tube item that you have to use to choose what type of rewards you want, whether you want the basic or the full rewards. Basically, you can redeem them at the NPC Merchant Severin for the following items now: weapon mod crates, keyword suffix mod boxes, or keyword suffix mod boxes pro, and each account can redeem up to 10 of them per week until May 30th, and that is because they are getting rid of them. After the update, mod crates that previously required controllers will now provide their full rewards without needing controllers. The Warband Shop and the NPC merchants, Nisa and Severin, will no longer offer controllers, where controllers were previously obtainable from task and public events and public crisis events. They have been replaced with Stellar Planua at a 1-to-2 ratio. So all controllers are going away, and every event that would have required a controller to open will now by default just give you full rewards every single time. So that is awesome. In-game modes or loot crates that have previously required a controller to claim, the drop rates for deviations, medic specialization memory fragments, complete weapons, and mod crates now match those of the former full rewards drop. And drop rates for other rewards have also been adjusted accordingly. So really, really good. All of our like silo runs now, you're going to be getting full rewards every single time. So that is awesome. If you logged in within the last 2 months, you will also receive a one-time compensation of scenario merit coins based on the character with the most scenario settlements on your account. Refer to the table below for details. Scenario merit coins can be used to redeem keyword suffix mod self-selection crates and a cosmetic at the challenge shop under the scenario challenge. So they're adding a new challenge shop cosmetic or to the seasonal shop, and a bunch of new options to spend these merit coins on based on how many previous objectives that you've completed. So really cool updates there. Resource balance. To adjust player feedback on resources being relatively scarce in the early to mid game while being overabundant in the late game, we have slightly optimized the resource balance of various scenarios. For more information, refer to this post. LTDR, or TLDR rather, is they made resource gathering and the drop rates of things in the early phases of a scenario much higher, and then slightly reduced it towards the late game. So that should allow you to find things a little bit quicker and get up to speed a little bit faster in the early game, which is nice, early and mid game. Moving on to mod conversion. This was talked about previously, but also important and something that's going to be added with this patch as well. And that is the added tip indicating the level range of mods acquired after conversion and increased the overall probability of obtaining high level mods through conversion, even when converting mods with the lowest initial level. There's now a possibility of obtaining mods with epic attributes. So even if you have some really crappy mods, there is a rare chance that you can get epic attributes now on them. Before, it was pretty much guaranteed you were only going to get blues or greens, but now you still can get purples even with the worst level ones that you're combining. Of course, the higher the combined initial level of the input mods, the higher the minimum rarity of the resulting mods will be, and the greater the chance of obtaining higher rarity mods. Moving on to scenarios. To address player feedback, we have optimized the phases of Manibus, Manibus Novice, The Way of Winter, and Evolution's Call. These optimizations will only apply to servers launched after the update. Existing servers will not be affected. 2 new dungeon difficulties have been added to Manibus non-novice servers, applying to new and existing servers only. There's going to be, I think it's apocalyptic difficulty, yep. Yeah, I think it's going to be the same as, they might name it the same. as the Prime Wars. You can do it at Apocalyptic difficulty, but I think that might be the name that they're choosing for the new dungeons as well. But we'll see when the update is officially live here. But the Prime War can now be unlocked on Manibus and done at Apocalyptic difficulty through the same Staroid Restrainer used for Nightmare difficulties. I'm curious if you're going to need a additional access card. That would be interesting. Once the Stardust Roar phase is unlocked, players can challenge secure missiles at Nightmare difficulty. Clearing Nightmare difficulty for the first time each week will yield high rarity mods, and subsequent clears will provide more rewards than Pro difficulty. So that's what it's called. Apocalyptic is for the Prime War, and Nightmare difficulty is going to be for your silos in dungeons. Note, the first clear rewards for the above difficulty levels can only be claimed once per account, which leads me to believe that they're probably going to be pretty substantial. It's going to be like your one time a week, like really difficult task that you can do, but you get some really nice rewards for it. So that's something that people are going to really look forward to in the late game, because you kind of run out of things to do if you already have all the mods and stuff. So I'm glad they're adding some new difficulties. Files for several NPCs from the Way of Winter have been added to the personal files section of the field guide. These can be unlocked by engaging with relevant NPCs. Furthermore, the regional records section now includes Red Sands and the Blackheart region as well. So that is all the scenario updates. Moving on to the stuff that is actually really cool that I'm excited about, and that is updates to vehicles. Wheelies are now wheelies and aerial spins have been optimized. You can now not only maintain a wheelie while on the ground, but also gain a speed boost while doing so, leaving everyone else in the dust. While in the air, your turning ability is slightly reduced, but your vertical spinning ability is significantly enhanced, allowing you to execute spins and other flashy tricks. And here is a quick little demo of what they're referring to. Basically do some flips now, because your forward and backward momentum is greatly increased. So that is pretty cool. Get to do some really neat motorcycle tricks. Moving on, drifting is being added. Just tap the brake and turn to start drifting effortlessly. Hold down the handbrake key. I'm assuming this will be a new hotkey you might have to set. I'm curious what the default will be. To keep drifting and conquer corners with ease. Feel the intense grip of your tires and unleash their electrifying speed. I'm curious if you're going to get an additional speed boost from this, similar to how you get a speed boost from wheeling. That'd be really cool, and it would make traversing really neat. And then last but not least, my favorite update is vehicle jumping. Vehicles can now execute small jumps to overcome obstacles, mainly being those annoying little railings that are on side of all the highways. You can now drive obstacle free. During a vehicle jump, you can press the jump again to descend more quickly, giving you enhanced control over your positioning. So this is, in my opinion, drifting is going to be cool, but just being able to jump over those little railings and not get stuck by default over something that small is going to be a big quality of life change, in my opinion. And then in terms of control, they increase the time it takes for the camera to reset automatically on all four-wheeled vehicles. For cosmetics, a lot of things are going to be changing here. I won't go too in depth, but the main ones to take into consideration that a lot of people were complaining about is the fact that your guarded stance when you're just standing idle basically was triggering too frequently or taking too long. So they optimized the triggering conditions for metahumans in the guarded stance out in the wilderness. Only combat related actions will now trigger that guarded stance. So as long as you're standing there, you will be in the default stance at all times. They also adjusted the duration of that guarded stance so that if you become idle after the fact, you go back to your idle animation a lot quicker. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the expressions. Oh, here we go. Matching actions have been added to all legendary fashion sets. Existing sets will be automatically updated with these actions, allowing you to equip them to your expression wheel. So before, all of the cool animations that the full sets of legendary armor had, for those of you that haven't gotten one, it's basically like a really cool emote basically that you can only have if you have the full armor set unlocked. They're basically separating that cool animation out from the armor set now and making it its own basically timeable animation that you can do as often as you want, and just basically equipped it the same way you would any other emote. So that's really cool there. And the popular Bass Jacket default avatar looks like they had some adjusted details as well. Moving on, to enrich the gameplay experience, we have made some adjustments to how pollution zones work. For more information, refer to the pollution zone revamp. This came out a few days ago, but I did open it just to give you a quick idea. Stardust ore can now suppress and absorb contamination and will appear in areas of high contamination. Items and structures crafting using the Stardust ore are super effective against deviants. Stardust ore in the environment will also continuously weaken nearby deviants. So we're getting some increased uses to Stardust ore now. Mining Stardust ore will also trigger a gradual rise in local contamination levels, so it'll get stronger and stronger. And then last but not least, besides the things regarding structures, they do have a cool new animation now, where if your contamination levels get a little too high, you actually will get pulled into the ground by a deviant now, and kind of just get black out on the ground, I'm assuming. So that is what's looking forward to the updates there. Last but not least, for trades, they improved the appearance of Harvester's Market. Landmark structures have been added so you can see it more easily, and they reduced the size of the area around the Harvester's Market territory that were making territories construction prohibited, and increased the spacing between vending machines because they were really tightly packed and there was like dozens of them all over the place. And then for construction, they optimized the rules for placing carpets. Carpets can now be placed directly under facilities. You don't have to move everything out of the way just to place a carpet anymore. You can just plant them down wherever you want. And facilities like generators and turrets can now be placed on natural terrain. This is huge. Before, you were limited to putting them on foundations. So now you might be able to customize the basically perimeter of your base a little more uniquely, especially if you can put the turrets on flat ground now. So there's some cool defensive things and strategic things you can do with this as well. I could see how this could be really handy on PvP scenarios as well. If you had some like really rocky terrain around your base, you could almost hide turrets nearby, which would be pretty neat, like in the rocks and stuff. Enhanced rendering effects have been added for territory placement during relocation as well, and you can now view the foundation more clearly and adjust the height accordingly. Before, it was just super transparent and it was really hard to see sometimes. Now it's got a nice refreshed look to make your base relocations a little bit more fluid. Moving on towards the last few things here. Eternaland added an ordering function to the island shop, making it easier to manage your items. Social features, they added the ability to share your screenshots with friends. You can also do it in the chat is what they're doing. For guidance, optimize the task navigation guidance. The system now recognizes elevators and ladders. So your little quick direction pathing that's going to be on your minimap, that will take different obstacles into consideration now, because a lot of times it would make you run way out of your way if there was a ladder nearby, for example. So that will be added in. Optimized event categories recommended will include popular large-scale events. Exploration Handbook will include Mayfly's Fantastic Journey. The Visional Wheel will include all Visional Wheel events such as the Crimson Moon, and the More section will include long-term welfare events such as our Astral Duelets and community rewards. So some UI changes there. For appearance customization, they improved the presentation of the appearance preset options, and for the backpack, Rosetta access cards can now be permanently discarded. I know I had dozens of these just building up in the backpack. Now we can actually get rid of the ones we don't need anymore. And then gathering tools, this is big, no longer need to be equipped to the hotbar. As long as you have the relevant tool in your backpack, you will automatically be able to switch to it while gathering, which means you're freeing up probably 2 to 3 slots on your inventory bar for actual useful consumable items like potions, whim potions, tactical items, things like that. You never have to put any gathering tools on your hotbar anymore, which is awesome. Reporting system has been refined to make it more easy. Exit pop-up window got a change to its naming. And then we got a host of bug fixes. I won't go into all of these. Again, feel free to check out the link in the description to see all the fine-tuned details. We pretty much went over everything, but bugs are just kind of little min-max changes here and there. But some of them are pretty cool. So yeah, big changes coming with this update. A lot of quality of life, a lot of really cool changes to vehicles. We're getting a ton of free rewards from the different events that's going to be dropping with the Chrono Vault. as well as some new meta bounty passes and additions to the shop. So a lot of really cool things to look forward to. I apologize for this video being a little longer, but I did say there was a ton of stuff to go over this time around. Hopefully I covered everything. But if you guys found it informative and it helped you out, be sure to smash that like button and comment down below. I appreciate all of your guys' feedback. Also, if you want to keep up to date on my future content, consider subscribing and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future updates. Also, check the link down in the description and make sure you pre-register for the mobile release that drops on April 23rd for Once Human. I know I'm going to be with my brand new iPhone that I just got, so looking forward to that. That link will be down in the description. And then last but not least, if you want to join a killer community of like-minded gamers, feel free to check the links down in the description for the Discord. We've got over 1,000 members in there now, many of which are playing Once Human, and we're all joining up on scenarios together and having a blast. So hopefully you guys jump in and we see you guys around here soon. But until the next one, hope everyone has a great day, and we'll see you all later.